recording. Oh, wait. Okay. Have to have the new file up. Here we go. Okay. All right, we're recording. And it's going to be great, guys. So tuck in for your Thursday jolt of TMS Good Times, which begins in 3, 2, 1.
But Danny and Mark and everyone's counting on me for a ride.
Scott, you can't let your friends run your life.
But Dad, you promised. You said I could have the van.
He's right, Chris. I did promise him the van. All right, Scott. I'll keep that promise on one condition. You have to promise there won't be any beer drinking.
You know, it's a Radisson, so it's pretty good.
The morning stream. My bumhole hurts.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Thursday, November 5th, 2020. I'm Scott Johnson. That guy right there is Brian Ibbett.
Oh, this is true. It's like you read my mind and said exactly the things that I was thinking. All of the things.
I fact checked before I got here, just to make sure. You know, it's we're almost to a new year. My 2021 goal is to continue to not get COVID-19, but also to be more accurate in my reporting here on this important journalistic effort we call TMS.
The last thing we want is CNN doing a breakdown of all the things we got wrong in every single show.
No, we don't. We don't want Wolf Blitzer going,
fact checking.
That's my Wolf Blitzer.
He sounds like a Muppet.
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of is a Muppet. But anyway, hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. We got stuff to do. A couple interesting things. You would think, this is just a side note, you would think Nevada, home of Las Vegas and counting numbers, would be done by now. Because it's why? Vegas. Come on, give it to the number counter people. They know what they're doing.
I was going to say, it's the people in the cage that go, okay, yeah, you're getting $143.12. Here you go. Thank you.
Those sounds.
Please use that wipey thing to clean your hands from all the money you just touched.
That Foley noise you just made put me there. It put me in a place. It worked. Oh my gosh, that's weird. I can totally hear
their
it.
Little money counter deal.
Yeah, I don't even freaking gamble, but I know that sound. That's really great. But anyway,
that's with not having heard that sound in 15 months.
That's the longest you've been without your
absolutely
your town.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, look, here's the thing. Nevada, I don't know why you're so slow, but let's get going. Let's get that happening.
They're apparently gonna announce it at noon today, their time.
Oh, is that what they're saying? Okay.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, they go and do like a jackpot.
That's right, exactly.
Okay.
And the winner of our jackpot Mega Millions is.
You see that video of that dude in the barbecue shirt that it was at it was in that county, or it's in Vegas, and they were just doing
Clark County?
Yeah, they were just doing a press conference where they were talking about the counting and how we're doing and whatever. Suddenly this like Hulk Hogan style dude just comes running up there going, "Stop the count, they're stealing the election," and his like mask is hanging off his chin and he's freaking out, and nobody did anything to him. They just let him run out of gas and walk away, and then they just went on as if nothing happened.
Perfect. That's the best.
I feel like if you live in Vegas, you're used to doing that with people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So anyway, that was a thing. I woke up this morning finding out I was in the Verge.com article.
Oh, really?
That freaked me out. Yeah, because everybody was pinging me, Tom included, all this morning, going, "Dude, you're in the Verge. You're in the Verge."
You're in the Verge. What for?
I went and looked it up, and I thought, "Oh, what have I done? What screw up have I made?" That was my first thought as I goofed up, like some.
Yeah, right. Of course, yes.
But
absolutely, this is the number one reason people end up online these days is for screwing something up.
Honestly, yes. And so I was actually a little bit concerned and rushed to the internet where this could be found, and then I'll show the chat room where it is right now. Here it is: supporting journalism that empowers people through understanding. Oh, sorry, that's not the headline. The headline is: people are mistaking a Baltimore Orioles meme for an election misinformation botnet. Okay, so there's this whole thing about this Orioles meme and a bunch of people repeating a tweet that has something to do with the Orioles. No, nobody knows what this meme is except Orioles fans, right? So that's been flying around Twitter and whatever. And they posted a tweet I did that says, this is me saying, weird, it's like Twitter is not all that trustworthy. And below, it's a list of like 6 tweets that are all different people all saying word for word the exact same thing. Some replying directly to the president with it, some not, but they're all the exact same quote. And the quote is, that's it. Hold on, let me move this over here so I can read it because my eyes suck. That's it. That seals the deal. I've been an American citizen for 54 years, and in all my time of being one, I've never seen an election this bad. I've had enough of it. Until you fix this country, I'll be packing my bags to England where they actually know how to run a country. Okay. That doesn't sound like a baseball meme to me. It just sounds like somebody mad about the election, and I don't even know what side they're mad at. I can't even tell from the way that that's worded. But seeing like, 50 of those in a row, I only captured like 6 of them. It leads you to think, oh, well, yeah, it's another botnet doing its
Little
thing.
bots. Yeah, exactly.
Now, here's the best part of this. Listen how they wrote this. They wrote, first they posted up that imagery of me in my tweet. And then they wrote this. Podcaster and cartoonist Scott Johnson, among other people on Twitter, flagged some examples in a screenshot. Weird, he tweeted sardonically. It's like Twitter is not all that trustworthy, unquote. Several tweets referred to them as bots, potentially deployed to divide Americans after the election, similar to the Russian Internet Research Agency's coordinated meme warfare. But as social media bot conspirator Nord something pointed out, it most certainly isn't a coordinated misinformation campaign. It is a multi-year sports joke. Anyway, but I love how they say, weird, he tweeted sardonically.
He tweeted sardonically, yes. I love it.
Harry, Ron ejaculated. It's like that kind of thing. Anyway, so
were you being sardonic though, Scott? Was it your intention to be sardonic?
No, not at all. I was being you know what? I guess it
were,
depends.
Yeah.
I guess I was, yeah. Because my take is
humor and sarcasm.
It's pretty impossible to tell what that tweet has anything to do with baseball, or specifically the Orioles. And it's also, most of them were either replies to President Trump or direct messages to other people within those threads. So I still don't understand how I would ever be meant to know this about that meme. I don't even know how it's a meme. Like, even this article doesn't exactly explain that. It kind of does, but it doesn't tell me why it's like replying to the president and why it talks about the election. Like, still doesn't make a lot of sense to me, even now. And so I'm not bothered by it at all. Like, if you want to call me out and say I misunderstood a thing, that's fine. Welcome to the internet. I do that all the time.
What's funny is like the bots don't even try to change the number, right? It's like, 54 years. Yep, we're all exactly 54 years old. And
right. See, they're claiming those are people and not bots, and that's the part I don't get. And I've seen plenty of botnet activity before where there are definitely accounts that are just pooping out the same schmoop. But this, I still don't quite get it. But anyway, that was fun, and things kind of blew up on my account as a result, and that's fine. I heard from people that don't know me and automatically don't like me, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Whatever.
What are you gonna do?
What you do? And none of them work for Twitter, right? Like, you didn't get any hate mail from Twitter saying, "Hey, we're reliable. Stop it."
I got one from Jack. He said, "Hey man, just do some weed." Or something like that.
then you got a message from Tom, said, "Come on back to MySpace. Come on."
Oh, hey, by the way,
I'm still your friend.
But is he doing it from behind? He's doing it from back. Like, he's turned around, right? Doing like.
Oh, right. He's turned around in his chair, like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah. Little whiteboard in front of him. Oh, that guy. Anyway, so what I was going to say, hurry up, Nevada. That's what I was going to say. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I want to just take a moment here and recommend people check out last night's Core podcast. We do this game show on the show, or on the network, with me and Bo and John. Started out years ago as a Heroes of the Storm focused show, but when that game got less focus at Blizzard, we decided to sort of branch it out, turn it into something about core gaming, which we are all gamers of that type and ilk. So anyway, if you haven't listened to it before and you've just avoided it because you're like, whatever, I really think you should tune in. For whatever reason, that thing's turning into a really, really cool discussion-based show that I think would fit real nicely in your lineup. Especially, I mean, if you're not into gaming, then maybe not. But it went places. So go check it out. Frogpants.com/core or core wherever you get your podcast. Go check it out.
And you can't beat those co-hosts, right? I mean,
well, you can beat them, but they'll
best.
get back up and keep fighting. So.
You gotta beat them with both hands.
Yeah, both hands.
It's called that to yesterday.
Got an email yesterday from Cody who said, Scott and Brian, look up cart narcs on YouTube. You will not regret. So I'm going to do this live on the show.
Oh, are you really? Okay. I did this
up.
before the show,
Uh-huh.
and I watched 4 episodes of Cart Narcs.
What is cart narcs?
It's a guy who I'm amazed has not gotten the crap beat out of him. Quite frankly.
Is this
So
okay, give me the
here's
give
the
me
premise.
The rough,
Here's the premise: is Cart Narcs is a YouTube video series that's kind of like a takeoff on Cops, but it's a dude who patrols grocery store parking lots and tells people to return their carts.
and he
it's done
confronts people, confronts them all around the parking lot.
Confronts them all around the parking lot. The best, I will say, the thing that makes me laugh every single time is his siren noise that he makes. Whoop, 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 when he goes up to somebody who's left their card out. But then he it gets confrontational and he wants to put magnetic stickers. They look like bumper stickers, but they're magnets, and he wants to put those on people's cars when they refuse. That says, I
don't like uncomfortable, pranky, confrontational YouTube. It's not my thing. Not into it.
It got a little cringy at times. I like where this guy's coming from, but man, I worry for his fate. He's gonna have his own Terminator Dark Fate at some point.
He's gonna get the poop kicked out of him. Let's see if we can hear that siren real quick. I think I have this. Can you hear that?
I can't hear it. No.
Okay, he's already well into confrontation mode here.
Okay.
I just want to hear him go whoop 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 whoop. I love that. Well, anyway, cart narc. I guess now I know what it is. I'm less excited because now it's just another. I realize it's just another kind of pranky YouTube.
Well, you do owe it to Cody to watch one episode. So take 8 minutes, watch one episode.
I will do that. Thank you, Cody.
When one would finish, I'd be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go watch something else, and then the next one would autoplay, and I'd get hooked into watching the second one, and then the third one.
Oh, that's how they get you, Brian. Before you know it, you're gonna be Jake Paul in it. You're gonna be watching Jake Paul videos until the wee hours of the night.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do stuff like that.
No, I can't either. Prank videos kill me. I can't do them. Like back in the day, I didn't even like it when I was a kid, and you'd see reruns of like
Candid Camera.
I couldn't do it. It made me just squirm.
But it felt like those, they knew when to stop the joke, and I feel like as funny as Cart Narc sometimes gets, he kind of goes further than he keeps pushing when maybe it's time to move on and back down and say, okay, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, it's just my remember what was the thing on MTV? What was that called? Punked. Couldn't do Punked. Tried Punked, couldn't do it. Same thing. It's like, oh gosh, dude, this guy thinks this is a robbery for real or whatever it was. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So not for me, is what I say. Not for me.
Not for me.
Not for me.
Who's the current host of Punked? Is the Punked? Yeah, I guess Chance the Rapper is the current host of Punked.
Oh, Punked is still on?
Punked is back on, I guess, right? Because Ashton Kutcher ran that thing on the ground from 2003 to 2007.
Yeah.
And now Chance the Rapper is the current host of Punked.
Let's see, Punked TV series 03 to 2015. Wait, is it still going though?
Oh, they rebooted on Quibi. Oh, sorry, Chance the Rapper.
Oh, it was a Quibi deal.
Oh.
My favorite review on Punked on IMDb is here's the headline: interesting if you are bored. That's great. That's great. Melissa L. wrote in, says, good morning, Scott and Brian. I love watching the show. My daughter made a drawing for TMS this morning, and I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for all you do, and keep up the great work. Well, everybody, I guess
I'm going to give my honest opinion, by the way. I'm not going to hold back just because she's a kid. I'm going to say exactly what I think of this drawing.
I believe you. I think that you're honest. Your critiques are known the world
both
over.
Barrels. This is excellent. Look at that. That's really good.
Yeah, it's a little
it's
TMS.
good shading on that cup.
Yeah, look at the cup. Look at the cup.
Look at
mean,
the cup.
she's-
Look at the cup. Will
she's-
somebody please look at the cup?
She didn't say how old her daughter was. I assume, probably younger. It's not like she's 38 or something, but I love that. I love it. I love
That's
hearing when
awesome.
kids
It's
are
very good.
inspired to draw,
Yeah.
and if our show somehow does that, that's freaking awesome too. And I wish I had her name so I could give her a little shout out. But hey, Melissa, tell your daughter she's awesome. And I just showed her cool art to the chat room, and she sounds like a
we
real
all
cool
love
kid. Yeah.
It
Very
makes me
cool.
want to drink some coffee, which I will do right now.
I'll try to drop less S-bombs today for your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to do that.
I know. It just we can't think about that, Scott. We can't think about the parents who are letting the kids watch the show.
No, we'll ruin the
It's
show.
not on us. It's on them.
Right. We can't do that. Who are we to do that? Not us.
Oh man, and things are about to get a lot more sweary, but in a different culture. Sweary.
Yeah. And sometimes they come out when you least expect them. But enjoy this now as we enter into the phase of the show we call the monthly
Trivial things.
Yes, that's right. Gidget Von LaRue joins us from down under, where it's like 2 a.m. or something weird. Gidget, good morning. How are you?
There she is.
Say some words so I know
Hello.
you're here. Are you there? Can you
I
hear
am
us?
good. I
Oh.
gotta hang on. I gotta mute this bit. Hang on. Wait. I gotta.
Oh, you got to mute the
Okay.
thing? Did you mute
Yeah,
it?
there we
all
go.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, what can you tell me about a show on Netflix? It's an Australian comedy called Something and Kim. Hold on.
Kath and Kim.
Yes. How do the locals feel about that show? Because currently my wife's hooked on it and won't stop watching it. Is she doing the right thing, or is that considered stupid?
We think it's hilarious.
Oh, you do?
We think it's hilarious because, as Australians, we like to take the piss out of ourselves. And it's like the movie The Castle. We like that kind of comedy. So,
All right.
Kath and Kim is classic for us. So, Scott, I'm glad that your wife is loving it because it is hilarious.
Okay.
And they tried to do an American version as well, and it just
Flopped.
didn't work.
Okay. It kind of reminds me, Brian, you'll remember their names. There's a Comedy Central show, or there was, or still is, I can't remember, but the two girls that are living in New York, and it's called
Broad City.
Broad City. There's
Yeah.
something that about this show that reminds me of Broad City. So I'm going to argue that Broad City is it figured out a way to do Kim and Kath without just repeating it. And I don't know why it feels that way, but it just does. And I've watched some of it. It's like set in the 80s or something, or early 90s or something like that. And it's
well, the weird thing about Kath and Kim is it's actually not set. It's actually set now, like when it was filmed. And that's how a lot of people, I don't know, in Australia kind of live, with the tracksuits and the going down the RSL club and doing the awkward dance and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen that other show, so I'll have to check it out and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, Broad
next
City's
month.
awesome. You should check it out. But that's my wife's super into it, and I wanted to, I guess, thank you on behalf of the American people to all Australians for keeping her entertained.
Thanks for letting us have Kath and Kim.
Yes, she's into
By
it.
the way,
You were talking about the barbecue guy in Nevada.
Yeah.
I actually, because we've had the shutdown here in Australia, not so much in New South Wales, but mostly in Victoria and Queensland, I've been going down to the local Bunnings, which is a hardware store, and I've been doing pretty much the same thing regarding the sausage sizzle. So for all the Australians listening, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. For anyone else, you'll be like, what the hell is she talking about?
Yeah.
But Bunnings, the hardware store, have a sausage sizzle. They had to shut that down, and they've just reopened it. There he is.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Tell me about sausage sizzle. Sounds like
the sausage sizzle.
That
By the
sounds
way,
like-
Melissa, all these things are okay for your daughter to hear.
Exactly, Melissa, you're all good. Don't worry about it. I'll start getting a bit dirty later on.
Yeah.
So a sausage sizzle is basically just cooked sausages on a barbecue, put in a piece of white bread with tomato sauce, or as you say, ketchup, in it,
Yeah.
and maybe some grilled onion, and that's a sausage sizzle. And it blows my mind because it's not like you can't do this at home. So I
Yeah.
don't know why Australians are freaking out about the Bunnings sausage sizzle, but I've been out there with my t-shirt on. So and Oregon, like it's not like we don't know what's going on over there. Some
Oh, yeah.
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got
They've
things.
legalized all drugs.
Yeah, they're good. They got mushrooms now. They got the
Damn.
They got the psychedelic mushrooms are now legal in Portland. So if you want
We
to,
decriminalized them here in Colorado, but We did that a lot earlier. I mean, I don't know why it took us so long to decriminalize pit bulls, but mushrooms apparently were okay several years ago.
Yeah, figure that one out.
You still can't buy those Kinder eggs with the toys in them, but you can buy a gun
can.
and you can buy meth.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's all good.
Yeah.
I don't know about buying meth.
I want to buy
I
some
know you
lawn
can't walk
darts.
into
No,
a
you
Walmart
can.
and
In
go to
Oregon,
meth.
you can. It's supposedly like meth,
Meth?
heroin,
No, you can't do
magic
meth.
mushrooms,
I
cocaine.
think you better check where you're getting your news.
You definitely can't get meth and heroin there, but I know So here's my take. It's all the natural stuff. They can do the pot because it grows on a plant, and finally you can do mushrooms and it grows on like a cow poo or wherever those come from, right? So I think if something grows on a cow poo, you should be able to eat it. That should be just your basic freedoms include breathing, talking, and eating something off a cow poo.
That's right. And by the way, now you can get Kinder eggs here.
I'm all for the legalizing marijuana. It takes the whole criminal element out of it. And you know, it's the fact that you can buy alcohol, and you probably get more messed up on that than, you know, a doobie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Cheers.
sure.
that's true. Cheers.
That's right. Speaking of which, yeah.
Well, it's time for us to play a little trivia game. I don't remember what our overall topic was. Maybe that'll help me. I don't know. But why don't you lay it on us and let's play? Oh, horror.
Yeah. Well, I was meant to be on last week, but it was actually my fault because I did an interview with Randall Kleiser, who is the director of Grease, and it
Which
was
is awesome.
Yeah, it's so awesome. He did the Blue Lagoon. He did Pee-wee's Big Top. He did some awesome White Fang. He did some more. Lovely guy. We did a Zoom video, but it was at the same time that I would have been doing my Halloween quiz for you guys, so it got delayed a week.
Oh,
Did he give you any dirt on Olivia Newton-John? Any
he said she's a
salacious
bitch.
stories? Yeah, I'm sure.
No.
Sure she is, yeah.
No.
I get that vibe
He said
from
she's
her.
He said she's lovely, and so is John Travolta, and you know, most of the people. It's a really interesting. It'll be released next week on the Retro Cinema podcast. So
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, very cool. Well, all right.
It was a Zoom video too, so I had to get up at like sparrow's fart in the morning and doodah myself up. Whereas now it's actually 3:29 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my
Jeez.
gosh, dude.
I can't even.
Yeah.
I'm barely awake for 3:29 in the afternoon, let alone 3:29 a.m.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez Louises.
I love the nightlife. I love to boogie.
Did you dress up as the leather-clad Sandra Dee from the second half of Grease for the interview, or did you?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Brian, of course I did. Or actually, though, he did direct a movie called Summer Lovers with Peter Gallagher and Daryl Hannah, and everyone was pretty much naked in that movie. So I was opting between Olivia and just buck naked.
Ah, very nice. Well,
I remember Summer Lovers. I remember that playing on repeat on HBO at times that I was the only one awake in the house to watch it.
Yeah, when
I
you
think
were
it would have
allowed.
been 3:29 a.m. Actually, now that
I spoke to him about that, Brian, because I filmed it all in Santorini, Greece. And I said, did you have trouble finding naked people? And he said, no. He said, everyone was naked anyway. We just paid them.
Oh, nice. I've never heard of this movie. Never heard of Summer Lovers.
Oh, it's hot.
Is it?
Oof.
All right.
Yeah, it's about a threesome.
But, oh, wow.
That's right.
With Peter Gallagher, of all
with
people.
Peter Gallagher, who I remember
And Daryl
being
Hannah.
extremely hairy. Am I remembering that correctly?
I think he shaved for that movie.
Did he shave
Okay, because I was
for
thinking
it?
he was
Yeah.
like he looked like he rolled around on covered himself with honey and rolled around on a Baldwin.
What?
Or Bigfoot.
Oh, I love it. All right. Let's get to it. What lay it on us. Who do you want to start? I don't remember who won last time. I don't even know who's
I don't either.
I don't remember anything.
I don't remember either.
Alright.
So,
We can do whatever.
all right. So Tadpool might remember. So just check Tadpool before we get started. Someone might remember who won last.
Yeah. Someone in the chat says nope, nothing yet. Nobody's
Nothing
Johnny
yet
on
from
the
the
spot.
chat.
We're waiting.
Well, let's I think I
I-
might have won last time for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm
you
thinking I
did
did
win
but,
last time. You did. I remember
but,
being very sad, so I think you won. So I'll go
Yeah,
first.
I think. All right. So Scott, you're the first out of the gate. All right. So this is not just 80s. This is all decades.
Okay.
Okay, so again, we've got multiple option. So, all right, number one, what is the name of the killer clown in Stephen King's It?
Okay.
Is it Bozo, Captain Spaulding, Pennywise, or Krusty?
That would be Pennywise would be the correct answer.
Correct.
That's a good
Dang, how did you get that?
one. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm
You're
glad you
a
threw
horror
It's a warm-up. These are warm-up questions.
Sure, sure.
Come on, it's
I'm
easy.
glad you threw Spalding in there because I miss what's his name who died, and he's an interesting dude. Anyway,
Sid Haig.
Sid Haig, yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Brian's turn.
All right. Bri.
Yes.
What is the name of the main villain in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Is it the Butcher, Leatherface, Uncle Meat, or Slicey McStabby?
Oh, I was
Uncle
waiting for
Meat.
Spalding Face, but I'm going to go ahead and say Leatherface.
Yes.
Man.
I
wanted
like
to
all
be-
those other options.
Yeah, Captain
I do
Meat
too.
or whatever.
I test my partner, Colonel Kickhead, on these, and he said, I really want to say Slicey McStabby face because that should be a new character.
Sure.
If you let the internet name the villain of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that you had coming out, and you said, "All right, internet, come up with his name," that's exactly Slicey McStabby Face, exactly the name that they would come out.
Yep.
It is. It's like when they had that boat in England, and they said, "Come up with the name of the
Bodie-
boat," and it was like Bodie
Bodie
McBoatface.
McBoatface.
Yeah. Isn't that called? Didn't they end up dropping that? And now it's just some
They
kind
did.
of boat.
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah, they
Lame.
called it the Attenborough or something like that.
Yeah.
Count
Lame.
all the votes. Count
Yeah.
all the votes.
Count the votes. Bodie McBoatface.
All right.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna claim Bodie McBoatface. We're gonna stop the count right now. I'm claiming it.
Oh, you're claiming it. Great. All right, my turn. Lay it on me.
All right, I'll try and do it as Melania. What is the name of hotel in? No, I won't. What is the name of the hotel in 1980s The Shining? Is it the Overlook Hotel, the Glacier Park Hotel, the Overwatch Hotel, or the Happiness Hotel?
That would be the Overlook Hotel, the first one.
Yes.
Nice.
Funny. If you would have thrown in the Stanley Hotel, you might have been able to throw them off.
Oh, right, because it's
Because that's what it's based on.
yeah. I would have actually.
Yeah, it was the Timberline Lodge Hotel in Oregon.
It was the-
Oregon
it was
that's got all the drugs.
The all suite, the
Yeah.
the Stone
Druggy,
Mountain
druggy,
all
drug,
suites.
Yeah, exactly. So, Best
Okay.
Howard
Western.
Johnson's. Yes.
The Howard Johnsons. All right, Brian.
Yes.
What was the infamous boat in the climatic shark hunt in the movie Jaws named? Was it called Spellbound, Deep Sea, Orca, or the Titanic?
It was. That would have been ill-fated if it was the Titanic. I believe it's
Yeah.
the Orca.
It pretty much was ill-fated anyway.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, that's
cactus.
true. Good point.
Yeah.
Brian,
yeah.
you
Needed a
said
bigger one.
You said Orca?
Yeah, they
Is that
needed
your
a bigger
answer?
boat.
I did say Orca.
Oh, that's correct, isn't it? Orca? I believe so.
Yep. Give him a
Alright.
ding.
Well done.
Give me a ding, Scott.
There's
A
two
ringy
dings.
ding ding.
Here's a
Ding,
third
ding,
ding.
Brian.
Yep, here's another ding.
Why can't you do the three camera, like the three things, so I can be on camera with Brian as well as you, Scott?
Well, you can
I actually take advantage of this time to take my clothes off. I
Oh. Well, I want to see that.
do
Wow.
that during Jury's segment. I do it during Tom's segment. I'm
I switch back and forth, but that would require me to do some work, and I don't feel like doing that.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it
Yeah.
worked before
I'd
the show.
actually win the Lazy Olympics if I bothered to show up. So,
Nice. It's a good one.
Mm.
All right, my turn.
thanks. All right, your turn. All right, how does the mostly unseen monster from It Follows decide who to target? Is it virgins, sexual partners, atheists, or girls with big boobs?
Give me the first. Give me the first part of the question again.
All right, so how does the mostly unseen monster from It Follows
Oh,
decide who to target? Is it A, virgins, B, sexual partners, C, atheists, or D, girls with big boobs?
I'm gonna say. Actually, this one I do not know, so I'm gonna say virgins.
Ding, Brian.
Ooh, good job.
I mean, it just seems
I've
Brian?
never seen It Follows, so yes. What?
It's over to you.
Oh,
Scott got it wrong.
you said ding, so
Yeah.
I thought he got that right.
Yeah, I
That's
did.
my ding.
Oh, Buzz.
Oh,
Scott
you're
said
saying
ding to
Buzz.
me.
Oh yeah, don't say ding. I thought I got it
Yeah,
right.
say
Sorry.
Ding. I think
Yeah.
ding is Australian for buzz.
Yeah. We're a bit.
Toy Story
That's
over there
not
is in
That's not a ding.
in
That's
Toy
not a
Story is
ding.
known as
This is
Ding.
a ding.
He's Ding Lightyear over there. I don't know if you knew
All
that.
right,
Yeah.
so-
all right.
So
all
I've
right.
never seen it either, but I'm
All right.
going
So
to
you've got to choose from sexual partners, atheists, or girls with big boobs.
I'm going to guess sexual partners. I would have guessed virgins had this one come to me first. So
You are correct. It
Damn
was
it.
actually a metaphor for STD.
Damn it.
no way, really.
Yeah.
So it follows is just about herpes, basically.
It follows any dirty diseases you get from doing that dirty thing called sex.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that thing.
We need to add It Follows to the film sack list.
I'm
We
in.
need to see it.
I'm in.
apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Brian, that's a steal. Okay. So Brian,
Yes.
what is yes? What is the name of the mysterious hypnotic location that Chris finds himself in the movie Get Out? Is it the alternate world? Is it the apple orchard? Is it the carpet pool? Or is it the sunken place?
Oh, I'm glad because I would not have been able to come up with this without your list. The sunken place.
Correct.
Damn it.
Damn it! Damn you, world!
All right.
Damn you!
All right. I'm locked in on this next one. I'm ready. Lay it on me.
All right, Scotty Muff. All
Yeah.
right, so who was the main protagonist in the Scream series? Was it Dewey, Casey, Brisbane, or Sydney?
Boy, am I glad Scott went first.
Give me the four names again.
All right, Dewey, Casey, Brisbane, or Sydney?
I have no idea. I'll say Sydney. I don't know. Sydney.
Well, correct.
Oh, wow. All right.
Wow, well done.
Did I really get that right? I had no idea.
Yep.
Total
Sydney
guess.
Prescott, played by Neve Campbell.
All right. Total
Mate.
guess.
Oh, yeah, Sid. Right. Okay. Yeah.
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 Why was I thinking it was either an Arquette or a dude who played Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movies?
Well,
'Cause-
Arquette was the cop.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think they were both. The movie tried to play around a bit with like, hey, maybe it's these two guys.
Right,
you know?
exactly. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the whole trope of, oh, it's this
but
guy.
This
No?
is the protagonist. This is not the baddies.
Oh, right. Not the antagonist, the protagonist. Sure.
You boys.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember. All I know is I know this. What's the now? I don't even know that. What's the name of the mask when he wears the mask? It's Screamy Face or long.
Screamy, yes, Screamy, icky face.
It's got a name.
Does it have a name?
Thought-
Ghostface,
Scream
doesn't it?
What
Oh,
is it?
Ghostface, is that it?
Ghostface. That's
No,
it.
no.
Yeah. You gotta have
That's
that. If you have
all
a
I know.
Ghostface killers.
if you have a horror movie and you have a thing in it with a face and a knife, you have to have a name for it, right? That's
Of course.
the rule.
Yeah. If you don't
Yeah.
come up with one, the internet will come up with one for you,
That's
and it
right.
won't be as good.
No, never.
Yeah.
Bodie
We've
McFarlane.
Stabby
established
Mick
that.
stab face.
Exactly.
All right, Brian's up.
Okay, number 8. All right. Before he was caught and burned to death by angry townspeople, Freddy Krueger was a serial killer known as A, the Ohio State Stabber, B, Elm Street Murderer, C, the Springwood Slasher, or D, the Kitty Killer.
Oh shoot. I was thinking Springwood Slasher until you said the kitty killer, because I think that was the whole deal, is that he was killing kids and then all the parents got together and burned him in the basement of the school. So I'm going to say the kitty killer.
Ah!
Oh,
man.
no.
Over to Scott.
Scott's got this one.
All right, so Kitty Killer's out. All right, so it's either the Ohio State Stabber, the Elm Street Murderer, or the Springwood Slasher.
I'll do that. I'll do the Elm Street one, just because I don't know why. Let's do that.
Guys got it wrong. It's a
Yeah, I
Springwood
don't think-
Slasher.
Is it Springwood Slasher? Dang,
Damn
yeah,
it.
that's I should have stuck with my original thinking when you said that. It's like,
Go
oh,
with your
Springwood Slasher.
instincts, Brian.
Yeah, but it's like, oh wait, but it was the kids. It was the kids.
It's all right. You lost nothing because I screwed it up too. So you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah.
worry. All right. I don't know whose turn it is though. It'd
It's Scott's turn.
Is it?
Yep, Scott.
Oh.
All right. So, you were probably just around born at this time, which I was. In The Exorcist, 1973, which priest is the one to free Reagan of Pazuzu? Is it Father Karras, Father Merrin, Father Dyer, or Father Christmas?
I haven't haven't seen that movie in so long. I mean, I know
I watch it every year.
Do you really?
he's played by that dude who died a year ago. He was in Game of Thrones.
You watch that new director's cut where she does the spider
spider
walk all over
walk.
the place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
down there. Yeah,
love
yeah,
that thing. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's freaky.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'll say Dyer.
All these were in the movie apart from Father Christmas, obviously.
Yeah.
But okay. So
Yeah.
so Brian, you
Yeah.
got to choose between Father Karras and Father Marin.
Yeah, because it's pretty much it. It's definitely not Father Christmas. Let's say Marin, Father
it.
Marin.
Marin. Is that right?
Coin flip is what that
God
was.
damn, no, it's Father Karras.
Father Karras. Okay, yep.
Yeah,
see?
but he's beating her on the floor and he's like, "Take me, damn it, take me."
Oh, I
And
remember the
suddenly
dude. I
hits
just
the
don't remember his
stairs
name.
and- Yeah. Well, I just had to watch it every year.
Compels you. The
Yeah.
power of Christ
Christ
compels you.
compels you.
Who just died? Max von Sydow, that's who it is. He's the main
Oh.
priest guy, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
he's
yeah.
Marin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And in the movie, Reagan gives him a heart attack. So that's when Father Karras comes in, furious, and he grabs her, beats the shit out of her. But then after Reagan leaves the house, she's only got a little bruise on her face. But I still love the movie.
And then she says, "Well, there you go again."
Yeah. There you go again. All right, so that means it's Brian's turn.
Right, yes, 'cause
stole
that was
it,
an
but missed
Yeah,
it.
so it's been a no one, and it was Scott last. So Scott, and then it would have been Brian, then it would have been Scott. Yep, Brian's turn. All right, so
Okay.
the Conjuring films
Oh, I like these.
focus on the careers of which real-life paranormal investigators? Is it John and Lydia Edwards? Is it Ed and Lorraine Warren? Is it Sylvia and Ted Brown? Or is it James and Gloria Vanderpraag?
I know it isn't, well, I'm not going to say what I know it isn't because I might help Scott inadvertently, although he knows these films. I don't think I've ever seen a single Conjuring film.
You
So
should,
again,
they're good.
and there's a whole universe of stuff with like Annabelle and all that.
First one is really good. The first one's really good, and actually the rest of them aren't too bad either, but the first one's particularly
Yeah, the
scary.
first one's really good.
I'm going to guess Sylvia and Ted Brown.
Nope. Goes over to Scott.
Okay. I think it's the Warrens.
That is correct.
Okay. Phew.
Good steal.
Yep.
I knew that sounded right.
Good
I really like those movies, except like, they kind of peter out after a while, but whatever. They're fun. The first one's really good. The problem, Brian, is that thing with haunted houses don't know what rules they have and don't know how to adhere to
Right.
them. These movies have that problem a little bit.
So it's a haunted house movie, not a possession movie, or I mean, a
It's all
possessed haunted house.
haunted house
Bit
stuff.
of both.
Yeah.
It's a bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's everything chucked in. I love a good horror movie.
Mhm.
I'm not into that stuff. I'm not into ghosts or any of that sort of stuff. I only just did the Entity last week about supposedly a real life case.
Oh, really?
Of, yeah, with Barbara Hershey in it. Great film. Martin Scorsese loves it. But it's based, and I had a guest, Hugh from the Undead Wookiee, on, and we talked a lot about the whole paranormal thing and all that. But that's not to stop me from really enjoying a good horror movie. I love them.
There was one in the 80s that I saw after the Amityville Horror, or saw the commercial for after the Amityville Horror, and the Amityville Horror freaked me out. Saw it in the drive-in. I was probably hiding under a blanket in the back seat for a lot of that, and I was like 8 or 9 or whatever. What are my parents doing taking me to see that?
Geez Louise.
But there was one that came out around the same time, and I just remember the trailer having a really white furry cat hissing, and then a woman going through a glass, coming down through a glass ceiling above a swimming pool, and getting trapped underneath a swimming pool or underneath the water, and it was like The Legacy or something like that, maybe.
I know what you're saying. This is
Yeah,
so
and
vivid
that
to me.
trailer freaked me out.
Yeah, I know this only from that visual as well. What was that? It wasn't Cat's Eye. or
You
something.
Wasn't
stumped
Cat's
me
Eye.
on that.
Yeah.
Oh
I
wow.
want to say The Legacy. We're gonna find that at some point.
We should film sack that for your own good. You know?
That would be great. I would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
The
Just
tadpole might
be-
know. Someone in the tadpole might know that one.
They
It
might.
might be The Legacy, 1978, and I'm seeing the poster has a white furry cat on it, so that might be it.
The Legacy. Interesting.
Cat
The
eyes?
Legacy. Oh, it's got Sam Elliott and Roger Daltrey. Yes, this is totally it.
Okay.
Roger Daltrey from
What is it?
from the Who, The Legacy.
78
Ah.
is the
Yeah,
year.
1978. So that one we
Cool.
need to put on the film sack
Oh,
list.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, I hadn't
Have
had
you guys
not.
done the Omen movies yet? Because I love the Omen 1 and 2.
We did the second one.
Yeah, we
If
did.
I
Oh, I
remember
love
correctly.
That's my favorite.
Two.
The second one. When the
Didn't-
guy gets strapped under the ice and
hmm
yeah.
Hold on. Did we do 2? Yeah, we did.
I thought we did. Yeah.
We try to do number 2 before we do number 1.
We do a number 2 before every movie we see.
Yeah, we always try to have a number 2. No, we did number 1. Sorry, we didn't do
Oh,
2.
we did do the first one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was 46. It was back in 2010, so 10 years ago we did the Omen.
Love the scene where the antenna or whatever it is comes off the top of the house and just stabs the guy right in the.
Yeah.
Goes
right in the
straight
front
through
yard.
the thing, and then
Yeah.
you got the glass cutting the guy's head off. I think that's
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with horror movies. If you get, like with The Exorcist and like with The Entity, the Omen movies, you get really good actors.
Mhm.
They make it so much more believable than if you just get a bunch of really B-grade teen actors that you don't really care about. You're like, oh, just kill them
Right.
quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Murder
Yeah.
those fools.
But you get good actors. Gregory Peck, I think, was in the first
Mhm.
one. And Lee Remick was in the second one. Like, it was solidly good actors, and they bring an essence to it.
Yeah,
Same
They
with
do.
Max von Sydow in The Exorcist. Okay,
Cool.
chucking along. All right, so it's it's Brian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
I
no,
think so.
didn't Scott
Oh.
just steal that?
Scott did steal that. Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
it's
did
Scott's-
steal it. I
Scott's
got the
turn.
Warrens,
Yep.
So
right.
this is
He stole
Scott.
the Warrens.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
It is now 3:48 a.m. in the morning in Australia. Okay, so 11. If you have stupidly watched the videotape in the film The Ring and get the phone call, what does the voice on the other end say? Is it "You are doomed"? Is it "The end is nigh"? Is it 7 days? Or is it D, "Is your fridge running"?
Better go catch it. Let's see.
Yeah, Prince Albert in a can.
I was going to make a marketing thing there, but I couldn't think of anything.
I've never seen The Ring, so I'm just gonna wing it.
Really?
Or you may say I'll ring it. Let's
Ah.
do.
Ah.
I really haven't. I just have never. I don't know why. I just never got around to seeing it. 7 days. Let's say that.
Correct.
Oh my gosh! No way!
Mhm.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I couldn't remember. I knew the deal was that you would die in 7 days, but I couldn't remember if it told you that or if it just said you're doomed, and then people figured out, oh, you got 7 days.
Oh, it just sounded ominous to me, so that's why I chose
To be
it.
fair, you've still got 7 days to go and have a really good time before you
Yeah,
catch.
exactly. Man, if you knew
Yeah.
that you only had 7 days, live it up.
Live it up.
I'd still
Oh,
watch
no.
the video. I couldn't help myself. I would have to watch the video
Mm.
because I'd be like, "What the hell is in this video that is so scary?"
Right.
And then I just wouldn't pick up the phone.
That's right. It's the right way to be,
Exactly.
and the tasty way to be it. All right, Brian, your turn.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, by the way, I'm about to click add to cart on a $14.99 copy of The Legacy on Blu-ray multi-format that I can
Whoa.
then maybe share with the other film sack guys. So we'll see about this.
Whoa, that's
Cool.
Look at you going all the way on your childhood
dedication.
therapy. Yeah,
Thank
that's
I need
good.
to. You know what? I feel like I need closure on this.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anyway.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, number 12. What object is used to signify the gypsy curse in Drag Me to Hell? Is it a coin, a button, a cross, or an earring?
Oh, jeez. Okay.
the
Well,
Sam
another one
Raimi-
that I haven't seen. Drag Me to Hell.
This is the Sam
A
Raimi
Gypsy
movie,
Curse.
right? Sam Raimi
I'm
did
al-
it, I think. Or
Oh, that is a Sam Raimi. Dang it! I should have seen this.
yeah, me too.
Coin is.
Oh, it's
feeling-
good. It's good. Drag
Is
Me
it?
to Hell is, yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. It's
Alright.
messed
Kinda
up. Yeah,
it's like
good.
I remember it was a big deal because it was after Spider-Man 3, and everybody was like, "Oh, now Sam
Oh.
Raimi's getting back to his basics. He's gonna do a cool movie again." It's like
Oh wow!
Evil
I
Dead.
thought this was a lot older, like
I think it was
early Sam Raimi stuff.
like 08,
No,
09.
no.
Okay.
I don't
All right.
remember.
Well, I'll put that on the list. As far as this question goes, this is truly a roll of a four-sided die here. I like the sound of button. I like the sound of earring because the Romani do wear earrings, but I don't think it would. Coin I like too. I don't like cross. I'm eliminating cross. I'm gonna go with coin. Bummer.
Oh, then I'm going to use Brian's intuition and say
Steal.
probably earring because, gypsies / Romani / the travelers, they like the earrings. Wrong?
Oh,
It was a button. The gypsy
It was a
tears
button.
a coin off Christine's jacket and she uses it to, do nasty things to her, as gypsies do. Can't trust those carnies.
Yeah,
right?
I went full.
the opinions
Stereotype.
of guests of TMS do not reflect the attitudes and opinions of the hosts.
Yeah, these we have had this gypsy conversation before, and I have a listener who says they're a gypsy and says they don't mind the term gypsy, so I don't know what to believe anymore. I have no idea.
I think
So it was a button.
gypsies are. Yeah, it was a button. Gypsies are pretty proud of being gypsies. So if you're pretty proud of who you are, then you're not going to really care about people taking the piss out of you.
It might be one of
really.
those. It might be one of those deals where we're offended for somebody else when they're not actually offended. I don't know.
I think that's it.
Totally.
Yeah,
I think that happens a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
probably does.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. All right. So no one.
No one. Nil.
Got another one. It's all right. You'll find it easy with the next one.
Okay.
All right. So 13. John Carpenter is one of the most. Oh, hang on. Who is
right?
Scott?
Yeah.
Yes.
John Carpenter is one of the most famous horror directors. Which movie did he not direct?
Oh, okay.
Is it The Fog, Halloween, Christine, or The Fly?
The Fly, because that was what's his name? The gross
David
guy.
Cronenberg.
David Cronenberg. So that's exactly
Mm-hmm.
yes, that's correct.
Yes. The Crone. Directed by the Crone.
Honestly, I almost said when you said Christine, I couldn't remember. That seemed wrong. That sounded wrong to me for some
It
reason.
did. Yeah.
But then when you
I
said,
love Christine.
I'd
I think
forgotten that was
to be
directed
able to
by
take
John
that-
Carpenter.
yeah,
to be able to take that book and make a cast scary. Like, I mean, the guy that's playing Arnie
yeah,
is amazing in that role. Probably should have been up for an Oscar, really,
yeah.
because he's so good regarding changing his character in that
And
film.
Becoming
But
a
the
dick,
fact that
yeah.
every time you see that car, you're like, oh, no.
1968 Plymouth Fury, or no, I don't remember
Yes.
the year.
Yeah, it was
Something
Plymouth.
Plymouth Fury.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 60-something
Yeah.
before
Nice.
we were born.
Right.
No, I don't know about you guys.
Probably.
Close to it. All right, how many more you got? You got like, what are we at? 15 or something? Where are we at? How many total?
All right, so I had a tiebreaker, but actually, I think Scott, you've won this one.
Did I
I
win?
think so. Because you had two successful
Oh,
steals. I had
one, two,
one successful steal.
But you did too, didn't you?
3, 4, 5, 6. So Scott is 6, and Brian is 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're having our own vote count here. It's fantastic.
4. So Scott wins. I'm not
Yeah.
cheating on. Yeah, I'm doing the count.
Stop the
properly.
count. I'm going to go ahead and claim. I'm going to claim The Conjuring. I'm claiming The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, Brian, I won this.
Well, congratulations to me for the first time in a while. I
Very
feel
good.
like
Yes,
Well done.
congratulations.
I feel like I broke a
Nicely done.
streak there, but I think overall Brian's still ahead in the overall games numbers.
Who
But
knows?
we'll
Who
see what
knows?
happens
Probably.
next month.
We'll restart the count at the beginning of the year, and actually, I'll document it somewhere in my office here.
Well, that's one way to do
Yeah,
it. Sure.
we'll just redo the elections.
Yeah, we'll take it to the Supreme
Yeah.
Court. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. So here's what we're going to do. Next month,
Thank
we'll
you,
do it
guys.
again. We'll do more trivia. Make sure you check out Gidget Show. Gidget, tell them where to get it.
Oh, by the way, I'm not wearing a wig tonight.
That's your real hair.
Oh, that's
time-
right,
First time
yeah.
ever. Because I had to shave
How's
my
your
hair
head
really
doing?
short.
Yeah,
Yeah, how's
Um,
your head doing?
It's doing fine, and my hair's growing back. So I was just like, right. But next quiz is
Mhm.
I'm going to have my Elizabeth Shue wig on, and it's going to be 80s teen movies.
Okay.
So we
Perfect.
all
Great.
grew up in the teens, and can I say as well, this month is my birthday month.
Oh.
We were meant to do this horror movie quiz last week,
Yeah.
but you know, I'm. It's my birthday on the 20th of November, so send me money.
Oh wow! you almost have the exact
Who needs
same.
a Patreon when you got?
You almost have the exact same birthday and age as my wife. Her birthday is the 29th, and you guys are born in the same year, so that's crazy. Real close. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So it's both our 50th, the end of November.
Yeah. Wait. Is that right?
What?
What year were you born?
1970.
Oh, she's 72. Never mind. My wife is 72.
Yeah, she's younger than me.
She's
just a
younger.
baby.
I thought you guys were the same age for some reason. No, she's younger than you. So
No,
she's gonna
she's
be
a baby. I'm an old bitch.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around an Elizabeth Shue wig. Like what? What makes an Elizabeth Shue wig?
You're gonna
I
love
guess
it.
I'll find
you're
out.
gonna love it. Yeah, you're gonna love it. But quickly, if you want to check out my podcast, it's an 80s movie podcast at the Retro Cinema Podcast, and we just did our top 10 musicians that are in 80s films. You really like that, Brian, actually.
I totally would
You'll
like that. Yeah.
As I said, I've interviewed Randall Kleiser, and also last 2 weeks we did the 2-part podcast of E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So check that out as well. So it's the Retro Cinema Podcast.
Nice.
And we're on every listening device.
Go check
Thanks,
it out.
guys.
We'll see you in
Thank
one
you.
Earth month.
Thank
See you then. Bye now. Go get some sleep. She should show up with the Elizabeth Shue hair and with 2 hollowed out, burned out eye holes. Do you know why?
I'm thinking. Oh yes, exactly. I know exactly what recent TV series you're talking about.
A little bit
And
of the old,
and a bottle of breast milk.
yeah, let's just say the Homelander. Oh gosh, when he puts his tongue in there, he's so gross.
I visualize you cringing every time Homelander drinks milk on that show.
Dude, I cringe every time Homelander does anything. He is so freaking weird. Anyway, we're going to take a break. Before we do, though, Brian's going to lay out a song. So just a quick reminder, folks watching live, we can't play music live anymore for a while anyway until we figure out, I don't know, maybe there'll be a way around this. But
Until
for now,
the world changes.
yeah, got a little stern warning yesterday, so I can't play it live anymore, but it will be in the podcast, so listeners listening to this, nothing's changing for you. Enjoy the following music. Brian, why don't you introduce it and we'll play it.
Yeah. All right. So, 2 members of the punk band Celebrity and Hopes Fall have left and created a new band called In Parallel. These guys rock, and they have a brand new release. Let's see, here we go. The latest EP, Fashioner, is out now via Wiretap Records. Big thanks, by the way, to Earshot Media and Wiretap Records for sending this over to me. This is mixed by Ken Andrews, who also mixes for Failure and Year of the Rabbit. This is great stuff. Lance Black, Jesse Fine, Ryan Parrish, and Mark Nash make up the band In Parallel. Here is the brand new song, Deep Dark.
But Danny and Mark and everyone.
Whoops, wrong one. Here we go.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Help! Help! Somebody help! Are you choking? Are you choking? Are you okay? Are you okay? Help! Help! Somebody help!
The heck do you mean?
This is the morning stream. Game over, man. Game over.
So one of us here watched Fargo yesterday. And I may have captured a few lines because
watch the movie Fargo, not the TV show Fargo.
Well, the TV show I'm well into, but now I'm waiting for a new episode, and I can watch the movie anytime it's on. It's like if Fargo's around, I'll watch it. It's one of those movies on my list, and I love that movie so freaking much. Gosh dang it, it's
is
good.
so good. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's why I have a few
He's
clips.
fleeing the interview. Fleeing the interview.
All right, we're back, everybody, and that means time for us to talk to my qualified, educated, smart, thoughtful sister, Wendy, who is a therapist, comes on the show, does Therapy Thursdays with us, and helps people with some of their problems. You guys send in your emails to themorningstream@gmail.com, and oftentimes they get picked for her to go over, talk about, give some advice, and hopefully send you guys in the right direction. And I'll be honest, and I think Brian can concur, a lot of times these subjects help us too. We like
They
it.
totally do. Yes.
So even if you think, oh, I don't know if my thing will be taken well or they'll care about it, trust me, someone will relate to your problem. So send them in, themorningstream@gmail.com. All right. I'm going to see why Wendy isn't answering. I was doing a really good job of delaying there, but she didn't pick up. So let's see. Ring.
Oh, okay.
Ring, 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 ring.
Ring a ding 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 ding
Ding,
ding.
ding, 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 ding. What is that? That's something. What is that? Ding, 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 ding.
Oh yeah, it's like ring a ding 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 ding,
I
like
think
a
I'm
Crazy
thinking of-
Frog or something.
I'm
This
thinking
one.
of I think I'm thinking of Adam. Oh.
Driver.
No, no, I'm thinking of
That's it.
Batman.
That's exactly it.
60s Batman. What's his name? Adam West.
Oh, Adam West. Oh, you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm not saying Adam Driver couldn't do that. He could if he
He
wanted.
totally. I think he does actually.
Wendy, good morning. How the heck are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. You're so whispery. Are you in church or something? What's going on?
No, I am. I don't know. I got a
She's
sleeping
just gonna let
dog.
us. She's just gonna let us finish. is
Yeah.
what,
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lie and say I'm fine.
Oh, that's great. Welcome to Eternal Count Election Count Day 3, and
Yeah.
it's good to have you here for that. Also, as I said before the show, or said before the segment, Wendy's here to help somebody with a problem. Therapy Thursdays has been great for all these years, and it's sometimes weird to think that in 2 months, you will have been doing this with us on Thursdays for 10 years.
It's so crazy.
10 years of Therapy Thursday, you guys. Think of
Crazy.
that. That's a
Think
decade.
of all the
I'm
people you've
embarrassed.
helped. It's awesome.
Because I feel like I knew nothing 10 years ago. So
Well.
I'm sorry for those first 7 years.
It's a lot of us knew nothing 10 years ago either. What's funny is, I mean, people are only going to get an average of like 7 of those decades in their whole lifetime. We used up one with Therapy Thursday and TMS.
Wow.
Blowing my mind. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, this is embarrassing. I will get new clients or clients after a while. I think whether they do it initially or later, they'll Google me and then they're like, "You have a show with your brother?" I'm like, don't listen to it.
Oh,
And
no.
then they'll come back, or they'll just suddenly go, "Hey, I just saw this, and I listened to the episode," and I'm like, "Oh no, which
they ever-
one?"
Do they ever say, actually, I listened to that episode. That helped me for free, so I guess we won't be needing the 9 o'clock today.
Yeah, I'm good. I got
Good,
it.
it's solved.
I
Well,
would be.
one was about Mother's Day, and I mean, I cannot for the life of me remember this.
Oh,
And
I don't
she's
either.
like, it
Yeah.
felt like you were reading from my journal. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I have no
remember
memory
that.
of it. The
I
only
don't-
one I remember, guys.
I
here's the
remember
truth.
the only thing I remember that Mother's Day conversation we had was we were talking about how my mom did not like it if you did one of those tricks where you said, like, Dad, he did this a couple of times where he's like, "Don't tell your mom I got her this gift." Why? I want to surprise her at the end of the day. I want to make her kind of sweat all day, he'd say. Or words to that effect.
Which is
Don't.
torture and
That's the
rude.
worst thing to do to my particular mother because my mom takes that stuff so personally. And so I remember we had a huge discussion about that. I remember being afraid that Mom was going to hear that episode. But now, it's fine if she hears it. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, the only episode, and even last week, you seriously forced me. I will not know what we talked about, but I remember the mansplaining episode because I was so proud of that.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one. I remember that
That's the
as
only
well.
one I remember. Everything else, I feel like I'm not responsible for. So,
Sure.
Sorry.
Well, 10 years on, we're still doing it. And we got an email here. Oh, I got to play this.
Everyone knows it's Wendy.
I mean, how can I be a respectable podcast without the intro?
Right with my
Exactly.
intro.
Yep. Here is your message for this week. And this is one I passed back and forth with Wendy this week. She thought it was a good one, so we're going with it. It says, "Hey, podcast dad, weird uncle, and Wendy." Brian, I don't know which.
I don't even want to know.
I don't know which
one
one
I
you
am.
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no
I'm pretty
idea.
sure I'm the weird uncle. Pretty sure that's me.
It sounds like maybe, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I'll claim it. I'm claiming.
Are you claiming
weird
this one
uncle.
too? Oh, Mr. President, please.
Claiming weird uncle.
That's fantastic. It says
Not the
this.
count. I'm the weird uncle.
There may be some triggering stuff below for viewers, readers, or listeners. So read with care if you decide to read it on the show. I wanted to write in for a bit of help. First, a bit of background on me. I had a relatively normal childhood on the surface. However, behind the scenes, dealt with a lot of abuse from my family members that eventually resulted in me being removed from my home when I was 13 until just before I turned 16. Boy, 3 years is a long time for a 13-year-old. Anyway, the time I spent in the foster care system was also met with a large amount of abuse and ultimately made me incredibly resourceful as I was forced to figure out things on my own at a very young age to survive. I returned home and returned to the school system I left behind. I left to find the rumor mill had churned out some pretty disgusting things. I spent much of high school without having any real friends and spent a lot of time alone. I struggled then and still do now with depression and anxiety, and actually attempted suicide a few times and thankfully made it out okay to the other side. Looking back, though, I don't really care that I wasn't the most popular person, but it did lead to some behaviors I am now concerned with. I find that I'm perfectly content isolating myself from others, but I don't want to. I'm now 26 with a wonderful wife. Powerful wife. I'm thinking of my wife. Wonderful wife and a 22-month-year-old daughter, and currently living in New Jersey. We decided to relocate to a different part of the country to enjoy a lower cost of living and slow life down a bit. I know that I am terrible at beginning friendships. Whenever I'm in a new environment or talking to others, my walls are up, and it takes a lot for me to let people in. Hell, I've even tried to get more involved with the Frog Pants community at large, and I'm even anxious to participate in a conversation in Discord or Slack. Ultimately, my concern is that we'll relocate and we'll be away from the few friendships that I have here and isolate myself and teach my daughter the same thing. I don't want her to struggle with the same things I do, so I want to kick this in the ass and now before she picks up on my bad habits. So my question really is, how do you make friends online or otherwise, especially in a time where we are all social distancing? Love the show, though. Anonymous. Okay. My first impression, Wendy, is that he's doing okay. Considering his history and all the stuff he went through.
He had a lot of cards stacked against him, and he's doing great.
Yeah, he seems like he's doing pretty good. So I just want to say high marks for just sort of that. But of course, these are things that are going to have to be dealt with, and will keep creeping up, no matter how good of a husband or father or whatever you're being. So it's good. I'm glad he wrote in. So how do you want to start with this particular case?
Well, maybe with a bit of a reality check. It is going to be very difficult to make new friends. Mainly because, obviously pandemic life has really reduced the ability to interact in ways that we are biologically predisposed to figure out if someone's friendly or an enemy, right? Because we can't see their faces, and the eyes only tell you so much. We have to get really good at that. And then just even talking or connecting is tricky, right? And then you're going to go to a new place where that's where everyone's already doing that. People are kind of hunkering down with their own kin. So not an easy time. Right. So my first thought here is like, I understand the question. I understand what he's hoping for and what he'd like some advice to how to do it. And my advice is actually don't expect it to go well at all. Like, plan on 2 years from now will be a good time to start making some buddies. And it's tricky because it's a human need. We all need it. We all crave it. Even if we like to say we don't, we need somebody outside of ourselves to connect with and feel good about. And what you're modeling for your kid right now, it just doesn't count. I'm sorry. I'm modeling to my kids some really bad things at the moment, right? It can't count. It's a pandemic. There was a blue moon. Do you guys realize, we're not on our best behavior?
The 31st there was, yeah.
Yeah. So a bit of some, I don't know, build in lots and lots and lots of room for this to be slow, and it can be hard, right? And so, maybe maintaining, and we can talk about this specifically. You guys are more of the expert in creating and maintaining online friendships, because I think that is probably the space you can make inroads at right now, and not so much in the new neighborhood or the new school. It's not even like a school. I mean, it's what we're in the beginning. I don't know where we are. Beginning of November. I have not seen a single child or parent of a child or school administrator in person. Not a single person. I've seen my 5 neighbors, and that's it. And that is not normal. There's no way to build any kind of bonding or connection. It's just not. So, I think the efforts into online is going to be your best bet, and then give it some time in the new place that you live. And we've talked about this type of thing before. Making friendships when you're older is just so much tougher because you don't have a lot of hangout time, or you don't have it's weird. And if you don't like your people you work with and they're not your friends, it's where else do you have time where you're just kicking it with strangers to get to know them, to be friends? So it's a tough thing. So you find it by connecting over commonalities, right? Like, we both like this game, we both play this sport, we both enjoy whatever, and that's how you'll find someone. So online makes a lot of sense. So you two talk about that. What is your suggestion for his online friendship building?
It's funny because I feel like he's already 90% of the way there. He's already part of a community of people that are totally going to welcome him. I know it sounds like, oh, you had friends around you the whole time and you didn't even know it, but seriously, the Tadpool is pretty much a safe place that you can come to, and he's worried about Slack and Discord, but hey, we got a great welcoming community in Discord that if you just go in there and introduce yourself and talk about, there's people who are going to be around the same age with the same age kids and wanting to kind of share all those same experiences. It's not like you're having to wander your way into a Reddit thread and say, hey, everybody, who wants to hang out? It's like,
right,
the Tadpool's right there, and we're completely, hey, take it from your weird uncle. Tadpool's a great place to come and hang out and make new friends.
Like I concur. I mean, sometimes it just takes that initial reaching out or whatever, but I know we have a lot of lurkers, we have for years, like people who just sort of hang around and don't interject much or say much or whatever, and they're of course welcome as well. But I mean, it's interesting. Like, I picture it as like a room full of people and you're going in there to meet somebody, and it's probably not made that much easier that it's behind a computer screen than it is if you were there in real life, if your goal is to spark relationships, to create friendships. Like, that's still hard, maybe harder because you don't have all the facial stuff and all the things we're good at as humans with pattern recognition and subtle cues and physical language and that sort of thing. So I don't know if I have a good idea for this. I'm actually really I've never really thought about this. It's easy for me to hop into a forum and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm in here because of this. I really like this stuff, and I'm happy to see everyone else has similar interests, whatever. Like, that's not hard for me to do for whatever reason, but I don't know how to tell someone else that's hard for, how to do that. I've never really thought about it.
Okay, let's actually just figure out why it's not hard for you. Why is it not hard for you?
I don't know.
Have you been rejected when you've done that before?
No.
Okay, well, there you go.
I mean, I've had situations where, actually, now that I think about it, anytime, online life or otherwise, if I'm trying to inject myself into a situation or a conversation or a group or whatever, I've never really had any of that kind of rejection. Like, acceptance has come relatively easy for me, despite the fact that I'm usually pretty anxious about the concept of rejection. I never get rejected. So it's kind of like being afraid of a meteor hitting the planet and it never happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you have a fear of the thing that just never happens, but yet you still have it, but you're okay you're okay getting stuff done anyway. Like, it's a weird way of saying it, but that's how I feel about it. I worry about that, but it's never been a problem. I never tried to get into a group or a conversation or something and have people go, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
You're not welcome here. Get out.
Yeah, it's never happened. And I know this happens to people all the time, so I'm not being naive about this.
6'4" with a deep voice.
I mean, honestly, I think that's there are a lot of factors that make it so my entry point into those kind of situations is what's the word? I come into it with some advantages, and some of those advantages are societal stuff like white, middle class, male, tall, deep voice. Like, those things do make a difference, and I'm aware of that, but I still think about it, even though no one's ever rejected me for anything that I know. I mean, not right away. Like, you might be dating a girl for a while and then she's a psycho, and until they get to know me, then they all run, they scatter.
We're like, what?
So,
One of the things that he doesn't talk about is interests that he has that might come with some built-in communities, like video games or um, uh, online forums, LARPing, whatever, D&D. I mean, there could be a bunch of things that he already does that he's part of that already come with some built-in communities that might be an easier inroad to making some online friends.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the thing that is kind of crucial is you put yourself out enough about a thing in a safe enough place where there's going to be some connecting that can happen, because we're talking about D&D or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when and the reason I asked Scott about what he thinks going into those places, maybe he's nervous going in, but then he starts talking and the energies, people aren't like running or rolling their eyes when he's talking. So he's not getting any cues that he's not welcome. So he just keeps going. And I think sometimes there's a perception because I think everyone's a little bit nervous. Even the most extroverted people have somewhere in there, they're like, I could get rejected, or what if they don't like me? So then they'll turn on all their charms and humor and whatever, and then it usually goes pretty well, and so then they're okay. But if that's not all there for you, then you're really worried, and then you're maybe overanalyzing everything as it's happening. And I'm wondering, online, is that worse? Because in person, it's like real time happening in your head, and they're staring at you, and you have to respond. But online, you can sort of take the time to think about what you're going to write, and maybe just work yourself up into like too nervous to do it.
I mean, you'd think so, but there's also, it's a dichotomy, because I think what you're saying is actually true for those who are maybe timid about the interaction, but the internet is also famously a place where you can go and type something without thinking about it at all and hit send.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And not have, because you don't have the physical cues or the responsibility or the accountability to not be able to just say whatever you want. You just barf it up online and not worry about it because there's no repercussions. So it's both.
Or
of those
you're not
things,
looking
weirdly.
for friends. Like,
right.
I don't know how many trolls are like, you know what? I'm going to make a bestie today, and I'm going to do it by making fun of their looks and mother. And, maybe there's a lot of 6-year-old boys pulling ponytails because they like a girl, right? So there's that dumbness. But I think most people, it really, if our intention is to get someone to like us back, and let's go back to his history. And this is crucial. And I appreciate him acknowledging that piece of it, because it explains a lot. And we've talked about this before in this show, the ACEs study, ACES, and it's, these acute childhood experiences that are traumatic, and there's a list of them. And a lot of people, when they've got a bunch on that list, there's a lot of challenges and a lot of physical, it's a health study, actually. And it points to just how it wreaks havoc on your health to have gone through so many challenging things as a kid. So, he's been through a lot. So for him to just jump in a room, I mean, I would say, Scott, one other reason you're not so worried is you had a pretty healthy childhood. And I mean, I'm sure there were a few things like a Snuggie that ripped your jeans or whatever from your other brother. Yeah. But like, for the most part, right, you weren't homeless. You didn't have to go into foster care. No one beat you. Maybe Mark did a few times, but like, it's pretty good. And not to discount the trauma you've been through. I don't mean to do that.
No,
but
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
We know that this guy has been through so much, and that is 100% biologically going to affect how easily you trust or don't trust others, right? Yeah. Are they going to hurt you? Like, and we have parts of us that jump in to save us when we feel vulnerable. So it may be the silencing part that's like, no, don't talk, like, don't say anything. You're gonna make a fool of yourself. And then another part that's just like, nobody likes you, you run away, right? And so you're just in this internal battle. It is not as easy as like, say these words, look them in the eye, talk about D&D. Now you have a friend.
Imagine
there's a lot more. Yeah, exactly. And really, actually, imagine their naked thing and that whole trope about giving a speech. what all you're doing is making everyone else vulnerable, more vulnerable than you. And that just shifts the power differential a little bit, so you can maybe take a little more confidence, right? And so in his case, though, people are not only, maybe he's introverted or a little shy naturally or something, but we're taking sort of post-traumatic mental response to strangers and vulnerability and having someone reject him or not. And I mean, that's harsh, difficult. And so to just, say, well, just go do it. That works for someone who hasn't been in those circumstances. So my advice is maybe what I always say, but I don't know what kind of help he's gotten around his childhood and the way he's been hurt. And, it sounds like he's got a good relationship and he's got a kid and he's doing pretty well. And all of that's awesome. But I'm amazed at how awesome people can do without taking care of their aces. And then it sort of falls apart as your mitochondria stops working in your cells. Like you start to get older or more vulnerable, or the kids get older and start talking back. Like there's lots of things still left in life that can kind of knock you off your feet. And so it's really, really important to get some help with that, because it just kind of stays under the surface. And so not to say, okay, how do you make friends? Is you go to therapy first. But in his case, I would want to know that he is taking care of and nurtured a lot of those parts of him that were hurt. And all the protective stuff that happens so he doesn't get hurt again. That's going to prevent him from being close with someone. And so there really is help for that. There really is.
Right.
And there's healing that there is for that. And so when he says, I don't want my child to learn from me, it's our children learn from our modeling. Yes. But the greatest thing they can learn is that you know how to take care of your inner world and yourself. And then you model that, and there we go. Because every kid's got their own life to live. But if they, just because you don't have a friend over every Friday night to play cards is not going to turn them off for friends or not, right? Your abuse history and the trauma you've been through has impacted you, and your kid's not going to have that same life, which is amazing. But they're not going to have that life because you've taken care of what you needed to, because you did have that kind of life.
Sure. One of the things I've noticed, and this may not have any real impact here, but for whatever reason, I'm sure everybody goes through this, but the people you thought you would never be apart from, like in high school, because you were like you were so connected, you were never going to get rid of each other, kind of thing. That never ends up happening. I'm sure it does for some people. I don't want to say there aren't outliers, but most of the time you end up going off, you do your own thing, you got your own goals. Some people get married and the two wives don't get along. And so the husbands kind of have to, we can't see each other very much because our wives hate each other or whatever. Like, I'm not saying that's happening here. I'm just saying there's situations like that where you just aren't with those people anymore. And even though once in a while later on, you'll see them on Facebook and go, hey, how's it going? Oh, you're still in town? Cool. We should see a movie sometime or whatever. Even that's a little awkward and weird because people have moved on. Like you've gone on to other things. And so for whatever reason, my friendships are way more online based. Like the ones I really value and go to and rely on are way more people that don't live around me than do. And I don't know why that is. Like, it's not like I couldn't suddenly just have a bunch of local friends. I mean, I have some. It's not true that there aren't any, but I don't have like a corral of regulars. My corral of regulars are all my co-hosts and my people I've met through the shows or stuff that, otherwise I connected with people online with. And so I didn't expect that. Like I find myself in a somewhat strange place with that. And it's not like I can't, like I say, reach out and find those friendships next door or up the road or with common stuff around town or whatever. I can. And in some respects I do, but I'm not actively seeking it because I get a lot of that just like right here. And so, I guess what I'm trying to say is if the physical world is treating him poorly, I do think there is a very real way today to find the kinds of relationships that will make you happy and engaged with those relationships online, and it's not just simply avatars, with no face and the wrong name and all that. Like there's a realness to it that people like to stereotype the realness out of it, but it's there. There's a realness to it, and I don't know. I just felt like that was important to mention, whether or not that has anything to do with to help him. But there's
For sure.
there's real people to meet there.
Well, there's also like it's you can't move to your new town. Well, it depends on where he's moving. Because surely if it's North Dakota, he can.
Well, he, by the way, he is in the chat room if we do want to ask him any further questions.
Oh, yeah. Where's he moving?
Yeah, where are you moving?
Where are you
the
moving?
reason too is like hanging out at a coffee shop for every Monday morning for a couple weeks. You're going to meet some regulars, but it's a little tricky.
Moving to Richmond, Virginia, he says.
Richmond, Virginia. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, like find some, and this is again, well, we're in a pandemic. It's just not as simple, but just regularly being places, seeing the same faces, right? Like, and as when their kid starts school, because it's a young child, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, 22 months. 22.
Oh yeah,
no,
very
it's so
young.
tiny, yeah.
Yeah.
So once school starts, like there's a rule: you have to be friends with some parents. Like it's a rule,
right?
At school, and your kid will have friends who then you get to know their parents, and like there's some automatic friendship stuff that starts happening as your kids get older. But be a regular somewhere, and then in the chat room, start chatting with people. Really, So I have a lot of real steppers, of course, that have come from the morning stream.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all of them, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And they are like the kindest, nicest. I adore all of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the jerk? Is there even one jerk that signed up for this? Like they don't
stay very long.
Oh, I've got some names for you.
Okay, let me know.
when the
they're
jerks,
all so lovely.
what happens
And
when
I
the
think,
jerks show up?
oh my
They
God.
don't stay very long. The jerks end up.
Yeah, exactly. They find that they get no food. No, we
Yeah.
don't feed jerks.
Yeah.
You're not feeding the jerks. Yeah. So even just like, this is not a plug for Real Steps, but you should join Real Steps, and like you will get to know these people. It's smaller, right? So there's only 30 of us, and or 33 or something this time, and like we're really talking on Discord, and we have these meetings together, and we go in breakout groups, and we are spending time together. I feel like I want all of them to come to my house for Thanksgiving. Like they're amazing. So like it's gonna be a risk, but the risk here is it's probably the most guaranteed version of online friendship making I've ever seen. So yeah, just do it. Say hi to everyone right now. Everyone else, say hi. You have a nice welcoming committee. It's all good.
Yeah.
But also just give yourself a little time. You're gonna go to Richmond. It's gonna take you a hot minute to know where to go and what feels good, and trust that if you like something and you like being in a certain place, that's going to be true for the other people there too.
Right.
And so there's a way to connect around stuff fairly easily if you're thinking in those terms.
Yeah. The one thing that always worked for me, it's especially things I was super nervous in, like, early nerdtaculars. I was terrified because I thought everybody was staring at me, and I had all the welts, and I just, it's a very awkward feeling to have everybody
And
come.
Nerdtacular, they are all staring.
They are
been there
at some points.
That was real, dude.
Yeah, that was true. But not, expecting
Yes.
them to be judging or to find
Right.
all my flaws or all that. The way you get around that, or the way I get around that, is just really pounding into yourself this concept that if you're nervous at a thing, other people are also nervous at a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, they're different nervousnesses. They've got their own anxieties. They got their own concerns or whatever. It's easy to forget that they're just not, it's easy to just think everybody's, they're all set. They're all here. Everyone's focused. We're good. Nobody's got any problems. I'm the only one that feels like he's got weaknesses or whatever. And the quicker you can get around that and realize that, no, everybody's got them, whether they're expressing them or not, that helps me to just feel that way. To like everyone always says, how did you get up in front of 26,000 people at BlizzCon and not just fall over? And I think the answer is, number one, when there's enough people, it becomes like with 10 people, that would have been a nightmare. A nightmare. I would have been nervous.
That means a bunch of people wouldn't have showed up, and you would have been like really like, oh,
well,
man,
that too,
nobody wants
right?
to come see.
Yeah, that too.
That would have been bad.
Plus this need to, like, please the 10 people. because now it's very uniquely.
All right, it's Q&A time. Let's just go left to right.
We'll be done in 10 minutes, everybody. So yeah, like that would have been really intense and hard. One person, like a teacher that ends up with one student in a class versus 100 in their class, that seems like a nightmare to have the one instead of the 100 because what you have to do sort of changes. So for me, a sea of people suddenly became almost like its own entity and not really individuals. But the other thing that helped was me realizing that I'm up here, I'm a little nervous, my palms are sweaty, the people I'm interviewing on the stage are nervous, even though they've done this 5-6 times themselves. They're still nervous. I saw them backstage. They were nervous. They were fiddly and they were kind of sweating and just nervous and talking nervously. And, one guy's like, oh, I have to take a Valium before these things. I just can't do it. I can't do it. And, I hear that stuff and go, oh, well, you guys are all nervous. I get it. Okay. And then I got out there and went, every single one of those people out there is nervous. And when I had Metzen come up on mic, I knew he was nervous because he told me. He's like, this is really hard for me. I'm like, that's why I appreciate it so much. But nobody knows that because he looked confident and like he was ready to roll, and it was great. But I know everybody's got their situation where they're going to be a little nervous. And if they're not, they're a psychopath. People that don't have that
let's be very clear. If you're backstage and you are cool and collected and then you might be a sociopath.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sociopath. That's what I meant.
It would be alarming. So it's funny that we all assume everyone else is a sociopath when the truth is we're all neurotic.
Yeah, everyone is, and you just don't think you are, or you think you're the only one, and you're like, I'm telling you, here's what'll be the greatest paradigm shift in humanity. One day, someone's going to figure out a way to read everyone's mind. And when that happens, I'm not saying it will, but when that happens, all bets are off. Everybody will know immediately how everybody's doing, and it's going to be awful. It's going to be awful.
Because we already can't do that, Scott, and you're the only one who can.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
We know you're nervous, Scott. It's always the same.
Shoot, didn't realize we'd gotten that far.
Hey, I know 10 years. For 10 years, I've probably said this 27 times, but I'm still dreaming about the thing that makes us all tell the truth. I want it so bad. Like you put a collar on everyone. Everyone has to say the truth. And if you don't, you I don't know, get knocked out. Something cool. Yeah. That's my dream. I don't want to read people's minds. I just want them to be forced to tell the truth. It's going to destroy everything. I realize why we can't have it.
It would upend the world. The whole world would just be completely. It would reset humanity in the worst way. It would just be.
It would be awful, but then so great afterwards. That's my current thinking about the election, is that we invent this thing.
Yeah. So that everybody has to tell the truth. Like everyone has the what's her name? Wonder Woman lasso around them. They're compelled to say the truth.
Yeah.
No matter who they are.
We put that around the world.
Yeah. No matter who they are. And we would immediately flush out all the abusers, all of the anybody who's terrible and done terrible things that we just didn't know about them yet. It would just be out. So we just say, all right, all of Congress, who here has beat their wife? And all of them would have to go, not all of them, but a number of hands would come up. Jeez. How many of you have eaten a live cat? And Ted Cruz would go,
Mitch McConnell.
like whatever.
How many have a Horcrux hand? Oh,
So anyway, yeah, like that would be a hard reset. It would be a Control-Alt-Delete on humanity for sure.
Yeah.
And this is how it's related to the emailer, because you're thinking everyone's thinking this has nothing to do with anything, but it is, because that's what's so tricky about socially connecting, is that you don't know what anyone is actually thinking, or if what they're, especially Americans, if they're saying a thing that's true or not, right? Because there's a whole lot of like, hey, nice to meet you, but really they're like, ugh, or whatever, right? And so maybe you're hyper attuned to some of that, or maybe you interact with someone and then they act weird and you're just like, I don't know what just happened. Like, it's a complicated, I always feel bad for like kids and teenagers who are trying to figure out what's going on. Like, it's a mystery and it's hard. And so, yeah, be kind to yourself, hang out with frog pants people, and be nice as you get to Richmond, and just go slow. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, these are all, yes, all of that. And I can promise you, this isn't just me, being Pollyannish about our community. It really is a welcoming, great bunch. It doesn't mean we don't have our, our goof ups and our mess ups, and they're usually me doing it, but it's a really safe, good place to be. And you're going to get treated well, and you're going to find people with similar interests. And you'll be good here. We'll take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work out, well, then that's another thing. But I think it will. So stick around.
And there is no one nerdier than you, and there is no one cooler than you, and there's no one think of any category. There's always somebody or nobody. I don't know, whatever that meant. But
there's always somebody or nobody.
There's either nobody or somebody.
Wendy Dunford.
There's always somebody blankier.
Yeah. Put that on your next book jacket, just on the back.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
know.
I love that idea.
How are we gonna make it, guys? How are we gonna make it?
We're
When's
gonna make
this
it.
gonna be over?
Yeah, we're
This
gonna make
whole
it.
year?
Yeah, we're gonna make it. As soon as Nevada gets their crap together today, have they announced it yet? You said what time,
No,
Brian?
Yeah, like they're saying. I think I saw noon.
Okay, so
And I
noon
think
their
that's
time,
noon,
so
or
1
Nevada
here.
time, which is 1.
Yeah.
And if you think it'll be over then, or when Pennsylvania, or when
there's not enough lawyers to keep
when
fighting.
when every state is filled in with a color, and you're like, oh, thank goodness it's over. It won't be over.
Yeah. I have bad news for you, everybody. It's not going to end real quick, but you got to start somewhere. So we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, I guess signups are over, right? For Real Steps.
Lost your chance.
At least for now, for this session.
Yeah,
For this
we'll
run.
do more next year if we make it to next year.
Oh,
But you can check out what we do at realsteps.org and ask some of your fellow Real Steppers / morning streamers.
Real Steppers. I like that.
Yeah,
Real
it's
Steppers.
going great. It's such a fun group. Like they're awesome.
It's
We
really
have someone
cool.
in Chile. Isn't that cool?
Whoa.
Someone in Chile has joined us.
They're not just in a bathtub full of chili. You mean like
Nope.
They're
Nope.
really cold. Help them.
they're cold. Somebody's chili.
It's always chilly.
All right. Awesome stuff. Check it out in the meantime anyway, whether you signed up or not, realsteps.org, and bookmark it and be ready for the next run. Wendy, have a fantastic week.
You do.
I'll see you later. Don't know why I took it that high, but I did. Hey, a quick email here from a listener, Andrew, who says, "Hey, Scott, I want to thank you and Carter for your Alien Isolation Twitch stream from a few days ago. Not only is it one of my favorite games of recent years," he says, "I admit to being an Alien fanboy, so I'm biased, but I really enjoyed watching you both lose your shit when the first tremor started shaking the station, then crawling through random butthole vents and generally being scared out of your gourds by the creepy environment and every creak and bang. It kept me grinning for hours last night and helped me distract from my general anxiety of election night. Cheers, Andrew." Well, Andrew, we were happy to do it. And the reason he says butthole vents, they have these vents in that game that you're supposed to hide in when the alien's around.
Yeah.
That, how do I describe these? They're circular.
They
and
look like buttholes. I mean, come on, Scott. I've been around
Yeah,
you
I guess
long
they look
enough
like
to know.
buttholes. Yeah. It was really fun. So we'll keep playing it. We're not done. But Carter her and I just need to pick a time and do it. So normally, in fact, tonight would have been a good night, but I got talked into playing Phantasma Hoocha Ha Ha Ho, whatever it's called. Anyway,
I'm sure that's accurate.
our good fellow pal here on the Frog Pants Network, former contestant of ANTP, Alex Albisu, has formally invited me to play with him and his crew, and he picked up that game for me. And apparently it's scary as hell, and I'm terrified. So that's tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what time tonight, but sometime tonight we're playing that. All right,
Very
Brian,
cool.
Coverville's happening today. Well, let's hear about what's going on there.
Man, they don't make him any more British than Neil Hannon. He is as British as a cup of Earl Grey. He's as British as a Mini Cooper with the flag Union Jack print on there. Neil Hannon, lead singer of the band The Divine Comedy, is turning 50 this week. And one of my favorite musicians, one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite musicians. So, of course, I had to do an episode celebrating his 50th and playing some covers of and by The Divine Comedy. You can hear folks like Stephen Page from Bare Naked Ladies and Ben Folds, who are both fans of Neil's, as well as covers by The Divine Comedy and Neil of folks like David Bowie and U2, just to name a couple. It's all coming up 1 p.m. Mountain Time, coverville.tv or twitch.tv/coverville.
Nice. Check that out, everybody. How's the new day working for you? It's working out good? You like it?
I'm really liking Thursdays. It makes Wednesdays feel a lot less heavy, and it just, it gets up closer to the weekend, which is kind of nice. I can, once I finish, I'm like, I'm ready for the weekend, but it gives me a little less time to prepare for Friday's Guess the Connection shows. So I might need to play around with that and figure that out too. But I'm kind of liking Thursdays, so I
Nice.
think after Thanksgiving might stay on Thursdays.
Nice. I love it. Chat room, yes, I beat Resident Evil 2. It ended with credits. I finished it. Quit telling me to
Nice.
play the second half of it. All right, that's it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Patreon.com/TMS is where you can support the show. So many of you have. We really appreciate it. It is our bread and butter. It's really the pillar of the network, and it's how we keep the lights on. Please continue your support if you can. And for those who can't, keep listening because we love having you on. Go review us on your podcast players, like whatever directory you're using. Are you using iTunes or now Apple Podcasts? Or are you using Google Play? How about that new Amazon business? Spotify? I don't know. Whatever your jam is, they have review systems on all those platforms. And
These aren't real. Are they all real? Are these
they're all
actual real
names.
things?
Real
Scott,
names.
come on.
Real names. But if you want to leave us reviews, all of those platforms, that helps us boost visibility. People see us more. So if you want to spread the good word, sometimes doing it is just giving us a good word on one of those platforms. Thank you guys for doing that. We really appreciate it. All right. Send your emails to themorningstream@gmail.com. And for any other questions you got, they're all at frogpants.com/TMS, including music requests, which Brian has one now. So he'll present it now. So you'll see how this works on the other end. If you request one, then you see how it gets played. So Brian, show us how it works.
Happens. How the sausage is made. Yeah. Cleo, Carrie Thompson, who's in the chat room. We love her. We adore her. She used to assign points. Doesn't have the time for that anymore, but in our head, we know that when somebody screws something up or says something funny, they're getting points from Cleo. She wrote in and said, hey, it's my birthday. 2020 has been a raging dumpster fire, but I've been lucky enough to struggle through it with an amazing partner with amazing taste in music. Steve introduced me to Meg Myers a few weeks ago, and I can't get enough. Pick any song you like and trust that I'll enjoy it. Thanks, Brian.
Nice.
She's right. I really like Meg Myers, and I got introduced to her from a video that got released. I can actually look. It got released last year. Hand-drawn video that went with a great cover of "Running Up That Hill" by Kate Bush. And because of that, I'm playing "Running Up That Hill" by Kate Bush, covered by Meg Myers. She released this as a single early last year. And but seek out the song, but better yet, seek out the YouTube video. Look for it, Meg Myers, "Running Up That Hill." Here it is right now. Happy birthday, Cleo.
All right, awesome, Cleo, and congrats on your house. She's into a new house, and we're excited about her for that. Or about it for her about that. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. That's it. Thanks. Enjoy this song. We'll see you guys for PM on Friday and more shows next week. We'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
That feels great on my abs.
Oh.
It does.
Okay.
Totally does.
Feels great.